Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning in, like, subscribe, all that other stuff in between. Today I'm just going to give you a few brief updates of words of English, hopefully, that I can speak. Haven't really been doing a lot. I have been doing a little bit more thoroughbred armament. By that I mean buying his stuff and trying it out. I'm not shilling for him. I think it's really hard to shill for surplus products. Like if there are police trade-ins, military contracts, government contracts, any of that stuff, it's kind of hard to shill for because they kind of sell themselves unless you do some weird shit. Now this product I am going to shill for because I love it. I did buy it, but I got to test it before I bought it, so I guess that is a shilling thing. So this is a 16-inch Colt barrel that was chopped down to 12.5 that has an XM177 pin and welded to it. So he had the surplus barrels left over. And the uppers I showed you before were not builds. They were complete uppers, but he did also have a lot of 16-inch Colt cage-coated barrels, and no one wants 16-inch barrels for some reason. So these, some were chopped to 14.5, some were chopped down to 12.5, and I was like, dude, flash hider on the end, modern XM177 E2-esque type thing. So what I did with mine is I put the barrel on a Colt upper. The ones that he's selling on his website have a A1 upper receiver and this configuration on the barrel. So he threw me one together and I took it out and played around with it. Texted him immediately. I was like, dude, yeah, I want it. I'm keeping it. And so, went over, paid my bill, and, continued to play around with it. So originally I put an ARMS A2 Plus on here, the number 39, and I loved it, but the problem was it's meant for an A2 carry handle, fixed carry handle, and I wasn't getting a proper sight picture. I couldn't see as well through the aperture to the front sight post as I wanted to. So I went with the AIMS, or yeah, not the AIMS, but the Aimpoint gooseneck, old school, and a trijiconmro. So I usually can't find anything I really like to put the MROs on except for my A case. So I had taken this off and traded out for a T1 on my 107 FR. And so this was just kind of sitting there, and I was like, I wonder if this combination would work well. So I tried it out that day and was like, you know what, this works. It's light, it's fun, it's kind of again, like it mixmaster type deal, like Air Force something, I don't know, XM177E2 XM4 thing. And with the government profile barrel, it looks kind of cool, and it's just very functional. It's fun. And again, the ones on the website will come pinned and welded with XM177, or you can get the Gordon carbine type deal. With it, like I said, there's 14.5 inch without the XM, and then there's the 12.5s pin and welded and stuff. So there's going to be also some 10.3s coming out, which I am also going to snag one of those barrels. But yeah, so fun. Again, that's one of my primary opinions about the firearms industry anymore, is like people take it way too serious. They don't have fun with the gear that they have. So speaking of that, sometimes it's easier to modify something you currently have or own than it is to try to keep up with the Joneses and purchase a whole new gun. So what I did is I wanted something to throw an LPVO on. I've had this Strike Eagle for a while and I couldn't find anything I really wanted to do with it. And so I took a 14.5 inch Colt complete upper that I had and put the Guy's Leap Blimula handguard that I've had laying around. I have one of these on a modern 723 or retro URGI, or modern 723, I think is what I deemed it. But I had one of these rails, so I knew I liked it. I'd bought another one when they were cheap, and so I was like, you know what, I'm just going to build myself a URGI. I am going to change out the flash hider through the LPVO on here, and it is a crap load of fun. I usually don't like scopes, so the Strike Eagle, based on the information that people provided me, because I usually don't do a lot with scopes, is that it is the basic lowest LPVO that's going to do really well and you can have a lot of fun with. Now, I have no idea if that's accurate or not. I really didn't do any research of my own on it. I talked to a few buddies and they're like, yeah, man, just get a Strike Eagle. You're not gonna regret it. It's gonna do fine. They have a great warranty. And PSA had them around Christmas time to where they had the mount and the Strike Eagle for like $260, I think, shipped. So again, I picked the Strike Eagle up a while back, and then I was like, you know what? Instead of like, because I was looking at buying like a complete URGI or figuring out what to do with it, throwing it on a block 2, but the point was to cut down on weight. So I needed something that wasn't that heavy with the whole nervous muscle bullshit stuff I have going on. So the Geissler rail was lighter than my block 2 rails. The 14.5-inch barrel helped cut down a little bit of weight, and the government profile on it as well. So it ended up, you know, weighing pros and cons there, literally weighing pros and cons there. That ended up being a perfect combination. Now I just need to figure out what flash hider I'm going to use so I can take it and get it pinned and welded. So I do have an SBA3 on there temporarily. I have 2 of them. I don't know, honestly, I was just playing around with them again. I picked up 2 of them really, really cheap. And so this is pinned and welded. This doesn't really need a brace on it, but I was honestly just messing around with them tonight to try them out. I don't like braces every time I show a brace, so if I show that I'm using this one, someone's going to be like, man, how do you like the SBA3 compared to XYZ? And I'm going to be like, I don't really like braces, but this one does the best. So yeah, there we go. The DOE. The DOE is running great, by the way. People have asked how it's doing. I messed it up by changing out some springs and buffers. That was my fault, not the gun's fault. The pistol is doing wonderful. I absolutely love this thing. I snuggle it, I cuddle it. It's none of your business what else. But I do absolutely love the thing. This is a question I got asked a lot. It is a GLX from Primary Arms. And this was not my idea. Someone told me that they make great PCC optics. Not that Primary Arms did, but the GLX series and the SLX series does. So apparently the 5.56-308 and the 5.45x39 ones do great on PCCs like 9 mils. So I was like, you know what, why wouldn't it work on a carry handle? So I did it, and guess what? It works wonderfully. So the DOE, I'm not like extraordinarily high round count on this gun yet, but you know, having used other H&R products before and being very familiar with the Colt 635 system, I don't imagine having a lot of problems. The only thing I'm unfamiliar with is the bolt that they used. It is not like a classic Colt bolt. However, that does lend to some perks. For example, the extractor is easier to get to. The ejectors, like, you have to mate it if you do like a build like I do. That's nothing. But so the bolt is a little bit different than what I'm used to, but again, it does lend to parts being more easily replaced. So I think it's going to be fine. I don't imagine having any issues out of it. I guess last thing, really, I did decide to, a while back, pick up another MP5, or an MP5 clone. So I'd kind of been like, you know, getting rid of some other small things in my collection, like parts and accessories, you know, kind of throwing money back to pick up another MKE, AP5, Mac5. I kind of kept going back and forth between what I was going to pick up. And these LT94s came available through Atlantic, or on Atlantic's website. And I was like, you know what, I have tri-lugs. You can always put a tri-lug adapter on this. My POF5 that's SBR, it has one on it, and that's really the reason I wanted another one. Now I can take the other one off the registry. It's a pain in the ass with doing the 5320 every year, remembering to do it every year, and then I may not go to the range a whole lot. And so sometimes the 5320 can be a pain, and I wanted like an MP5 that I could carry around with me because it's my favorite PCC platform. This is a gun that I've been obsessed with since I was a kid. I blame it on action movies and media and video games. So I wanted just another MP5 to mess around with. And so when these came available at that price point, I'd been saving back a lot more to pick one up. So this, I had money left over, and that was wonderful. So braces, here we go. This is probably one of the only guns outside of the DOE that I'm intentionally leaving braced, with no intention of SBRing it unless some type of weird laws or, you know, rule goes into effect again. But yeah, it honestly, is it a little bit rougher around the edges than even my POF5? Yeah, it's not broken in yet. I haven't shot it enough yet to know like exactly what it's going to do, how well it's going to do. But at this point and juncture, by the way, it's doing fine. This thing is a linear compensator. It's not a sound mitigation device or anything of that nature. It's strictly just a compensator that has different chambers. I'm going to pull it off here real quick to show you. There are no baffles in there. So the idea of this is it projects sound forward. It does help reduce recoil, as evidenced by if you try to throw it on a Glock 19 or a Glock 17. If you try to use all four of the extenders on it, you do have to mess with the recoil spring weight. On a PCC, I'm not expecting to have to do that. But, you know, I bought it to, I don't think they're selling very well. Strike Industries does some really innovative things. I don't care what anyone says about them. What they did with the P320 and the Bravo system and things has been freaking amazing. I like it better than I do the Flex Raider. So when I saw those, I like linear compensators. I was looking at buying a different one, and I saw those, and then there was an additional coupon on the website to get like 15% off, even with it already being discounted. So I was like, you know, I'm going to pay less than this than I am going to for like a regular 2-port compensator that I'm only going to be able to use for like a specific firearm. So I was like, you know what? Screw it. It looks fun. Keyword there, it looks fun. Is it going to be highly effective? I don't know at this point. Haven't, you know, got to use it a whole lot. But it looks cool, it looks fun, and linear compensators generally are going to do the same thing that a regular compensator is going to do. So I don't expect it. The bare minimum, I'm not going to leave it, especially throwing it on, you know, my Glock, you know, my Shadow system primarily, or you know, one of my Glocks. The cool thing is based on the level that you're wanting to achieve, you can shrink this little thing down to where it's just, it's small and it looks cool. So I went ahead and picked it up. And again, there are three different little extender things here that help reduce recoil and project the sound forward. So again, bare minimum, it's going to look cool and it's going to work as a compensator. Worst case scenario, there really isn't one because it's a compensator. I mean, there are ports on it. It's going to dissipate like some of the recoil and project sound like not towards me, so that's good. That's really all I've been up to, guys. Let me know what you want to see. Let me know what you want to see more of, what you want to see less of. Thank you for watching, and hope you guys had a great weekend. Oh, and a great Easter. I totally missed. I meant to drop a video on Easter and something happened. Didn't get to it. So hope you guys had a great Easter. And wonderful weekend. Hope you got out, LARPed your hearts out. Hope you wore some surplus gear and just like had some fun with what you spent your money on, your collection. On that note, you guys have a great one. And again, comment section, hit me up, let me know.